Welcome once again to the Clock Africa channel, and in this video we will be talking about a very important topic. Why do the Kardashians stay married? Or perhaps more accurately, why don't they? When you look at the Kardashian-Jenner family, what you see is glitz, glamour, business empires, and a relentless media spotlight. But underneath all of that sheen is a family that has had its fair share of heartbreak, divorce, and public scrutiny, just like every other family. Let's walk through the marriages of the Kardashians and understand why they didn't last, what role their very public lives played, how their family dynamics shaped their relationships, and how the natural evolution of the human soul may have made these unions impossible to sustain.
Kris, repeat after me. Kim is a symbol of my love for you.
Kim is a symbol of my love for you.
With this ring.
With this ring.
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Kim, repeat after me. Kris is a symbol of my love for you.
Kris is a symbol of my love for you.
With this ring.
With this ring.
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Seeing Kim this giddy and happy, it's like the cutest thing ever. Seeing this really makes me feel so much better. If this is what Kris does for her, oh my God, I'm all for it.
In accord with the laws of the state of California, I pronounce you husband and wife. Kris, you may kiss your bride. Friends and family, it is a delight to present for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. Kris Humphries.
We begin with the matriarch, Kris Jenner. Before she became the mastermind behind the Kardashian brand, she was Kris Kardashian, wife to Robert Kardashian Sr., a brilliant attorney. Their marriage lasted over a decade, from 1978 to 1991, but it ended in betrayal. Kris admitted to cheating on Robert. In interviews, she described herself at that time as lost, confused, and craving something more. This wasn't about not loving Robert. It was about not knowing who she was. That decision, though wrong in many eyes, revealed something key. Kris was changing, evolving into someone who would one day lead a billion-dollar family brand. She later married Bruce Jenner, who we now know as Caitlyn Jenner, and that marriage lasted over 20 years. But even with all the time, kids, and love they shared, they couldn't escape the truth. Caitlyn was struggling with gender identity, and Kris was chasing bigger dreams. Two people moving in opposite directions, in full view of the world. Living life under the spotlight magnifies every quiet discomfort. Your doubts become headlines. Your arguments become trending topics. And for the Kardashians, even their growth becomes entertainment. That brings us to Kim Kardashian, whose love life has been nothing short of a Hollywood drama. Her first marriage to music producer Damon Thomas was impulsive and toxic. She was only 19 and later confessed that she was under the influence of ecstasy during their Vegas wedding. Damon allegedly exerted control over her, and the relationship ended as quickly as it began. Her second marriage to NBA player Kris Humphries is one of the most talked about in pop culture history. It lasted only 72 days. The wedding was a television event, watched by millions. From the outside, it looked like the fairy tale. Two attractive people, a lavish ceremony, and a family rallying around the couple. But Kim later admitted she knew it wasn't right, even before she walked down the aisle. The pressure to please the public, to follow through on a storyline, to not appear like a failure, that pressure trapped her. And as soon as the cameras stopped rolling, so did the marriage. Then came Kanye West. This was no ordinary love story. Kanye and Kim were both cultural icons, each powerful in their own right. Their wedding in Florence was legendary. Their fashion was trend-setting. Their moments together, even the weird ones, were captivating. But behind the Instagram posts and music videos, things were crumbling. Kanye's mental health challenges, erratic public statements, and political endeavors put Kim in an impossible position. She tried to hold it together for the kids, for the public, and for herself. but eventually she chose peace. In an interview, Kim said she realized she had done everything to make everyone else happy. Her kids, her husband, the fans, and now she needed to choose what made her happy. That's a powerful statement. Sometimes growth means choosing yourself, even if the world doesn't understand. Kourtney Kardashian, the eldest of the sisters, had her own emotional saga with Scott Disick. They were never married, but they shared 3 children and over a decade of a deeply complex relationship. Scott struggled with addiction and emotional instability. Kourtney, on the other hand, was growing into a woman who wanted calm, balance, and authenticity. Their relationship, filled with ups and downs, was played out on national television. Kourtney eventually decided to walk away, not because she didn't love Scott, but because she loved herself more. Years later, she found love again with Travis Barker, someone who matches her energy and maturity. Their wedding was raw, punk rock, and deeply personal. It was her choice, not a storyline, and it showed what happens when someone finally grows into the love they truly deserve. Khloé Kardashian's marriage to NBA star Lamar Odom was equally intense. They married just 30 days after meeting. At first, it was beautiful, 2 people madly in love, publicly supporting each other. But Lamar's issues with addiction and infidelity broke the trust they had built. Khloé was there when he nearly died from an overdose. She stayed, cared, and fought for him. But in the end, she had to let go. Her story is one of incredible strength, the kind that often goes unrecognized because she smiles through the pain. And it's a reminder that love isn't always enough if the person you love isn't healing. Rob Kardashian had a highly publicized relationship with Blac Chyna. It was messy, volatile, and dramatic. From leaked messages to restraining orders, their relationship was a warning sign of what happens when fame, insecurity, and unresolved trauma collide. They share a child, but not a future. Rob's battle with depression and public pressure only made things worse. Even the younger generation hasn't escaped this pattern. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott, though never married, represent the next chapter of the Kardashian love timeline. Their on and off relationship is constantly in the headlines. They've had children together, shared public moments, and still managed to remain unpredictable. Kendall Jenner is more private, but even her relationships don't seem to last. Fame makes trust hard, and in a family where every move becomes a meme, relationships don't always survive. But maybe the point isn't that their relationships fail. Maybe the point is that they evolve. People change, needs change, dreams change, and sometimes 2 people are just no longer compatible with the versions of themselves they're becoming. This is a deeply human experience. Growth can be beautiful, but it can also be lonely. The Kardashians live in a house made of glass, where every personal transformation is broadcast and judged. In that kind of environment, love requires an unusual level of strength, and even then, it might not be enough. Their family dynamic adds another layer to this. They are fiercely loyal to one another. They travel in a pack. They consult each other on major decisions. That unity is their superpower, but it can be intimidating for any outsider. Spouses often report feeling like they married into a machine, one that doesn't stop, one that keeps filming, posting, branding, and promoting. That closeness, while admirable, can push outsiders away, especially if those outsiders don't feel like they belong or are being heard. And let's not forget the role of social media. It's not just a window into their lives, it's a magnifying glass. Every fight, every tear, every side glance becomes content. It's exhausting for them and for their partners. People were not designed to fall in love under a spotlight. Love needs space. Love needs silence. Love needs imperfection. And the Kardashians have very little of those luxuries. So no, the Kardashians don't stay married, But maybe that's okay. Maybe staying married shouldn't be the goal. Maybe growing, evolving, learning, and eventually finding your version of peace is the real success. They may not have the fairy tale endings the world expects, but they have stories, lessons, and strength. They're not failing. They're human, just like the rest of us. Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.